Hey, what's up, guys? This is Skeeter McGraw from Real Gamers, and as always, I'm with my buddy Bojangles over here on the couch.
Where's my pants?
Yeah, and today we are here to do another video review, this time for NCAA March Madness 2008 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. This is the 2008 installment of EA Sports' yearly college basketball franchise, and without further ado, let's get started. Now, I felt gameplay in this game was basically the exact same thing that you've been playing for the last year and a half or 2 years with the NBA Live series and even last year's March Madness game. They brought the camera out a little bit, and it's easier to see the floor, see your players' cuts and whatnot. But, overall, the gameplay feels exactly how it felt last year. Where this all changes, though, is when you get down into the low post game, as they've implemented a completely new system where the right analog stick, when you're on offense and you get down low, controls all of your spins, up and unders, moves like that. And on defense, you use the left analog stick to try and block all these moves. And what it ends up feeling like, it feels like a mini game every time you get the ball down low. And I think that's what EA Sports was going for with it, and they really succeeded. As every time you get down there, you're going to have to counter your opponent's moves, and you're going to have to be creative when you get down low, and that's how it should be. My only gripe with the system is that if you are playing as a team like Duke, who you're seeing behind me on the screen, if you're playing as a team like them, they don't really have a big man, and it can really completely take this feature out of the game, as if you're playing with a team that doesn't have a big man, the offense down low is completely taken out of the game. You've got no chance, especially against a guy like Tyler Hansborough. And then, on the other end, a guy like Tyler Hansborough is completely unstoppable against you. And it really, if you don't have a big man, you're going to end up having to play the game the exact same way you played last year's game. But other than that, it's a really balanced system, and I had some good fun with it. Now, in terms of graphics, I feel like this game is really a mixed bag. Player models, cutscenes, free throws, things like that, they all look outstanding. I mean, the player models are extremely detailed. However, when you get into, as you can see, the overall camera view, the animations get really chunky, and sometimes they can even carry you out of bounds when you don't want them to. So, you lose that sense of control, and overall, it just feels really slow-paced. The players don't really look realistic when they're running, and the game sliders can, help this a little bit. You can up the game speed, but it just looks a little off. Now, in terms of features in the game, EA finally got some online leagues. However, only 2 players can play a game at a time, and there are only 32 players per league, which is a little disappointing, but it's still nice to see that they added it in there. They also have a nice new revamped franchise mode, which you can see behind you, completely new menus and interface. And you've also got your NCAA tournament, your NIT, your Maui tip-off, and obviously just your quick game and things like that. In terms of presentation, I felt like this game is really, truly lackluster. EA acquired the ESPN license, and I feel like they've really done nothing with it. If anybody remembers the old NBA 2K series and the NFL 2K series, they used to have the Sports Center desk in there doing the the ESPN announcers and things like that. And in this game, they have Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale doing the announcing, and that's all the ESPN you get. And speaking of Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale, their announcing is absolutely abysmal. You can hit a buzzer beater 3-pointer and they will show absolutely no emotion. They barely ever talk, and when they do, it's the exact same lines that Vitale has been using since 1999 in these games. There's nothing fresh. They show no excitement whatsoever. And just overall, it really hurts the presentation of the game. And if you've got the ESPN license, I feel like you should definitely be doing more with it than EA Sports did with March Madness 2008. Now, overall, I feel like this game, overall, is a pretty good game. I gave it a 7.5 because, I felt like the graphics were somewhat of a mixed bag. Gameplay, however, was very solid for the most part, and the presentation was pretty lackluster. However, if you're a college hoops fan, I think it's definitely a great experience. And but if you're just a regular sports fan or a casual gamer, you're not really going to find any reason to go out of your house and buy this game.